So as you get comfortable, notice if there's, if you'd like to have something underneath your head, we will spend a few minutes with centering and doing some belly breathing this morning. Turn my other light on. So just take a moment, get settled in, and allow the body to relax into your mat. Into the earth. I'm going to invite you to keep your knees bent. And if it's comfortable for you to do so, bring your feet just a little bit wider than the hips and allow the knees to fall together. And then allow your palms to rest on the lower belly, upper arms relaxed on the floor, allowing the shoulders to soften back. And see, do the best you can to set yourself up so that there is little to no tension through the shoulders and the neck. And then take a moment to observe your breath without manipulating it or shaping it or directing it in any way. Just simply, it's like almost as if you're outside your body, looking down and observing it breathe. Dropping into this moment. Releasing whatever it took to get here today. And letting go of anything that you have after this time together. So the to-do list or an errand, an appointment, whatever it may be, a willingness to let it go and just be here now. And then as we become more still, we can check in to see who exactly that is. And we'll start with our physical body. We'll scan from head to toe. Check in with those areas that are asking for a little attention or extra attention today. You might even have a little conversation with them. Let them know that you hear them. You'll take care of them. Let's also take a moment to acknowledge those places that feel good, that we kind of take for granted because they aren't bothering us in any way. Notice those areas of the body that are quiet. Maybe just a thank you. As you now turn your attention into the breath body, we're going to go ahead and deepen it slightly. Taking a nice full inhale. Pause at the top of that breath for just a moment. And then exhale out through the mouth with the intention of just letting go, releasing, surrendering, whatever that means to you. And a couple more rounds just like that. A nice deep full breath in, hold at the top. And then just let the breath out through the mouth. Relaxing and surrendering. One more time. And we'll allow the breath to become quiet again or find its own rhythm as you check in with how you're feeling mentally and emotionally today. Noticing where your thoughts are taken to, and you can gently guide them back with the breath. We're going to be doing a lot of counting with our breath today. So the mind will stay probably more present than it may usually, just due to that counting of the breath. And then also noticing our emotions. Just recognizing what we're feeling today. Finding a loving acceptance of it. And as we become more and more quiet and honestly check in with ourselves, we may feel a little more in tune with our wisdom body, our intuition. Being able to now hear and feel into that small, still voice that's guiding us. And recognize what it has to share. Find your way back into attention on the breath. And the first thing, what we're going to do here is our belly breathing. And so with the hands resting on the belly, very intentionally allow the belly to expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Feel the belly rise and fall. Deepening the breath so that you deliberately guide it into the belly and very deliberately expand it. You can feel that belly, your belly rise and fall. You feel the hands rise and fall with it. And so we're going to work with the concept of expansion and contraction today through the breath. And these terms can mean different things to people. And so when we think of expansion, we might think of moving outward. You know, it could be expanding our minds. For some people, expansion may be personal growth. It can also, for some people, mean vulnerability or feeling vulnerable. So just feeling into what expansion is to you. We have learned, many of us, when we've gotten hurt, to maybe contract, to set up barriers to protect our hearts. So expansion may feel vulnerable. Contraction may feel safe. Contraction also can be interpreted as a way of just going inside, having quiet time for ourselves, time to hibernate. So noticing what contraction feels like for you. There's times in our lives when one or the other is exactly what we need to be doing. So not one is necessarily better than the other. So breathe into this idea of expansion. Inhale. Contraction as the exhale. You know, maintaining that intention of expanding and contracting, just energetically working with this, continuing with the belly breath. What we're going to do here now is add on a count to the breath. We'll inhale and the exhale is even. So wherever you are with your breath right now, allow it to release. Let the breath go completely, exhale out completely. We're going to inhale for a 4 count. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, belly expanded. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, contracted. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Just play with that on your own. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4. It's okay if it doesn't feel as long as you would like it for right now. Just stay with a 4 count. For some of you, this may feel just right. If you can, the next time you inhale, we're going to move it to a 5 count. Inhale 5 and exhale 5. Expand on inhale, contract on exhale. Notice how this length feels for you. This is the length I'm going to guide us through the practice with. Inhale 5, exhale 5, if that's possible for you. For now, if you would like to, we're going to expand this to a 6 count. So if that's available to you, inhale 6 and exhale 6. Expand, contract. Belly rises, belly falls. No strain or stress. A couple more rounds here. And then I'm going to ask you to just allow the breath to, or the shaping of the breath to fall away. As you feel just the 10 minutes or so we took on that first very simple breathing exercise, just belly breathing, expanding and contracting. Just feel, notice the sensations that are coming up for you. And we'll come back to that breath through the practice. For now, let's go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. We still want to bring our attention to the breath. And as we draw the knees in close, we let the breath out. And so the belly contracts, it leaves more room for the thighs to be drawn in. As we bring the knees arm lengths away, we create space. There's an expansion here, and we take the breath in. Exhale as we contract, hug the knees to the chest. Inhale, expand. Just feel that here. Just notice what those words mean to you. Feel them just very literally here as we move, right? We make ourselves smaller, we contract as the knees pull in. And we make ourselves a little bigger as we expand. then from here, go ahead and release the feet back into the floor. As long as your blanket isn't too high or lifting your head too high, you can still leave it if you have one underneath your head. You're gonna open the arms wide, feet a little bit wider than your mat, or as wide as your mat, or maybe a little narrower, double knee drop. So find your breath here. Knees are in neutral, they're up to towards the ceiling, right? Feet in the floor. Wherever you are with your breathing, release the breath out. Inhale for a 5 count. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale to one side, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale just the top knee, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, release the knees, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, open, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. So now just finding your own count. But I'm going to invite you to count as you exhale into the twist. Inhale, open wide, and the movement is as even as possible. So there's a nice flow here. So we're working with the energy body, we're working with flow, working with our breath, and doing a lot of connecting the movement into the breath. The breath leading the way, and you counting. I find that practices in which I do this, when I'm on my mat in the morning, every morning, when I need to do more of a moving meditation, this is the type of practice I do. It's incredibly grounding and calming, helps to quiet the mind a bit more. You're having to focus on the breath. And that's what it does for me. So tap into your truth on what you're feeling. And we want to notice the times when we feel frustrated too, if it's just not fast enough. What's that about? Right? This is a time of investigating and asking ourselves these questions and just learning more deeply about who we are and what makes us tick. We really love this. Why is it we love it? What about it do we enjoy? When you've gone equally side to side, we'll bring everything back to center and remove the blanket if you have one. Move that off to the side. Arms by your side, palms down. We'll do our moving bridge. We'll really play here with our breath. And what I want to invite you into as well as relaxing in the belly. And so as we inhale and exhale through a moving bridge, the belly can expand and contract as well. First, we'll just work with the lower half of the body. So feet are hip width apart, heels directly underneath the knees, arms by your side, palms down, and roll the shoulders under you. So we open the heart. So there's a bit of an expansion. Right? Wherever you are with your breath, release it out. Your inhale lifts you up. 2, 3, 4, 5. We expand. Exhale, release. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to move you right into your own here, your own count, whether that's a 4, 5, or 6. Inhaling up, feeling that expansion. And exhaling, releasing with that idea of contraction. And what does it feel like to also involve the belly with this? Next time you exhale and release down to our starting point, pause there. Let go of the breath for a moment. Just feel the body, noticing any sensations. And then we'll find our way into our 3-part moving bridge. I'll do 1 round, counting with you the whole time. And then I'm going to allow you to then move on your own. You can either follow me or find your own rhythm with this. Okay. So release the breath out completely. And then we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. The arms stay overhead as you exhale the hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale the hips back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And arms, hips, and everything lower together. 2, 3, 4, 5. And so on your own count, finding your own rhythm, keeping it even, feeling the stretch, feeling the expansion, the contraction. And if you change up the order in which the movements occur, that's okay. Just really find just a nice rhythm with your breath and with some movement. So it really does become a bit of a moving meditation, and whatever resonates with you. Neck is neutral. And the next time you find your way back to our starting point, arms by your side, allow the any shaping of the breath to fall away, and just noticing any sensations. Observe the body breathing. Observe your choices and how the body's responding. Okay, so this is a lot of what we'll do in the practice today. Just that count, and then I'll do the first few rounds, and you'll, from there, choose your length and your movement. So let's go ahead and roll to one side, and find our way to hands and knees. So starting with a neutral spine, hands are slightly in front of the shoulders, shoulder width apart. Knees are directly underneath the hips and hip width apart. Softly draw the navel to the spine, just feel the support on the back. And here I'm going to invite you to keep that engagement because it supports our low back. So rather than on the inhale letting the belly expand, I'm going to ask you to keep it in a gentle contraction in order to support the low back. Wherever you are with your breath, release it out. And then we're going to inhale into a little bit of a back bend. Lift the head, lift the tailbone, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale, round, 3, 4, 5. Just like this on your own, right? Simple cat-cow. Just slowing it down, and by slowing things down, especially the movements that we do every practice, we can get into the nuances, the more subtle parts of this practice that we miss because we're in a hurry or because we're moving habitually with routine. We don't have to think about it. And when we really slow it down, it's requiring us to really feel into this. We have to think about slowing it down and connecting with that breath a little more deliberately than we usually do, as far as counting the length of it. And then on your next exhale, we'll rock back just as far as you can with that same count into child's pose. And then we inhale back up for that 5 count on the inhale to hands and knees. If you're at a 4 count, that's fine. If you're at a 6 count, that's fine. We exhale back and inhale up evenly. So you just find your even count of breath and allow it to guide the movement. We oftentimes allow the movement to guide the breath, so it becomes more shallow on smaller movements, more extended on larger movements. We're doing just the opposite here. Now the next time you find your way up to hands and knees, also known as tabletop, all fours, pause. And now we're going to go ahead and just do a little strengthening through the back body asymmetrically, where we inhale 5 count, right arm, left leg, shoulder height, hip height. Exhale 5 count as we slowly bring it back down to the floor. Your core will play a key role here. Inhale left arm, right leg, 5 counts, or 4 or 6, whatever you're using. I'm going to guide you through 5, and you stay with what's comfortable for you. Slowing this down is requiring a little more balance. And we should feel a little more stable though as well by slowing things down. Now when you've gone equally side to side, we're going to curl the toes under. Let go of the breath for a moment. Let's just have a little, just release that a bit. Curl the toes under, take the tailbone up into the sky and walk your dogs. Right? Just walk them out, pedal the feet, move through the hips. Just kind of enjoy squirming around in the spine. Maybe lifting up onto the toes, just waking our feet up. And then when you feel complete with that, come back down to the knees. And find your resting pose for a moment. For some of you, that's on your belly, and for others, it's to child's pose. Okay. Just releasing here. Bring your head either into the mat, your forehead, or you can bring it to your hands, one hand on top of the other, lifting the head slightly. Breathe into the back body. Find that count of breath, whether you're using a 4, 5, or 6 count. As you expand the belly, it presses into the thighs, and so feel it, the back body take over, and it expands. So here we can feel the expansion of the back body on the inhale, and releasing and contracting on the exhale. Just feel that expansion and contraction through the back body. Even count of breath. Let's go ahead and find our way back to all fours. And we're going to come into our mini flow with the count of breath that's working for you today. So whether that's a 4, 5, or 6, the inhale always brings us to hands and knees, and the exhale, we alternate between down dog and child's pose. So when you're ready, you'll start with a nice inhale here, all fours, and then you exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, so just like that on your own count of breath, just keeping it as even as you can. So really slowing down our mini flow. So again, notice the nuances. You might experience or feel things that you hadn't noticed before. Maybe it feels more effortful to not be moving as quickly. Whatever it may be, just notice it without any judgment, whether it's good, bad, right or wrong, your favorite way or your least favorite way. The next time you find your way into down dog, pause there for just a moment. Finding the pose, finding that nice long spine that we worked on last week, that tipping of the pelvis, heart softening towards the thighs, and breathe evenly here. So even though we're in stillness in the pose, can you feel that idea of expansion and contraction through the breath? On your next exhale, walk your feet to your hands, coming into a standing forward fold at the front of your mat. Hands can rest on the block or maybe up here on your thighs if your back's not happy to be that deeply in a forward fold. Maybe the hamstrings are exceptionally tight today. Now remember, you can bend the knees as much as you need to find your way there safely. Okay, so you find your expression of Uttanasana, or standing forward fold. And once you do, we're going to find our breath again. And we're going to breathe a little bit into the belly. You're going to find that nice even flow and almost a pulsation here, ever so slightly, with the breath in this forward fold. So that as you inhale, there's an expansion or a lifting of the heart, just a little bit. It's not even halfway up. It's just a little bit of a lifting and exhaling back down, folding more deeply. Inhaling, slight lift, open, and exhale. It's not a lot. A sense of riding the wave of the breath in this forward fold. A pulsation, an expansion, and contraction. Do one more breath here. And bring your hands to your hips, bending the knees quite generously. Engage with the core, lengthen the spine, and slowly find your way up to standing. Coming into Tadasana. We're filling our bodies with a lot of oxygen this morning, so notice if you feel that. You might feel a little more lightheaded than usual. Bring the feet directly underneath your hips and just come in to find your equilibrium. Take a moment, even if it means your eyes are open. And just feel. So we're going to come into some of our sacred movements that we do with this count of breath. I'm going to guide you in with a 5 count, and you are welcome to do shorter or longer than that. I'll just take you through a couple rounds. So wherever you are with your breath, arms relaxed by your side, feet are maybe hip width apart, if not shoulder width apart, knees soft, core gently, just softly engaged, tailbone slightly tucked, lengthening the low back. Back of the neck is long. We're reaching through the crown of the head, maintaining a beautiful posture here in the length in the spine. Letting the breath out completely. And then we'll inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, palms down. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just on your own, just finding a nice, beautiful movement with the breath, expansion and contraction. Stay grounded through the feet, spine long, arms are relaxed, the breath is moving you. It should feel like a very relaxed movement, not effortful necessarily. On the completion of the next exhale, allow the arms to relax by your side and just feel that movement. Take a moment here, eyes open or closed. Good. So now we're going to bring the palms in front of us, palms up, and we're going to inhale that 5 count. As we come to the heart, we rotate the palms up, and then we're going to exhale out wide, 5 counts. All right, so we bring the arms in front, palms up. Again, posture. Feet are rooted about shoulder width apart. Knees are soft, core gently engaged, spine nice and low. And when you're ready, on an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can even gaze up if you want to. And then exhale out wide, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just on your own rhythm of breath. Expanding, contracting. One more round of breath. Pause. Let any shaping of the breath go and just feel. So we'll take this count now into our half salutation. So this really slows these down, and just enjoy the movement. And again, noticing the subtleties, the things that we don't normally pick up on because we're moving through something more quickly. Right, so the first inhale is a 5 count. 2, bring the arms overhead. 3, 4, 5. Take a hold of one wrist and exhale to the opposite side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale back upright. 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch sides. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And out wide. 2, 3, 4, 5. Palms to your low back. Open the heart. Inhale. 3, 4, 5, and exhale, fold forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands on your shins. Inhale halfway. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back up. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and now just move at your own pace. You can follow me. Find your own count. Contracting, we fold. On exhale, we expand. On inhale, just feeling this part of the practice. Inhale halfway. Exhale back into the fold. Now all the way back up. We'll go one more round. Slow motion yoga practice. Next time you find your way up to standing, we'll bring our palms together at our hearts. So if you're ahead of me, we'll just meet you there. Exhaling in. Letting go of the shaping of the breath, and again, just feel. All right, release the hands. If you're not at the front of your mat, find your way there. We'll bring our feet hip width apart. Okay. We're going to step back with the right foot for warrior one. Okay, so the foot's planted in the floor in the back. We want to have a wide enough stance so that as we bend into the front knee, that it's not going to come out in front of the ankle or toes. Okay, so try, if it's too narrow and you bend and that knee comes way out in front, that's going to put a lot of stress on that knee. So make sure that your stance is wide enough. That doesn't happen. Okay. Bring your hands together at your heart. And we're going to connect with that 5 count of breath, moving in and out of warrior one. As we inhale, we bend into the front leg and open the arms out wide. That's that expansion. And then as we exhale, we straighten the front leg and bring the palms back to the heart. That's the movement, okay? We'll start with a 5 count, and then you are welcome to change it to the length that suits you. Let the breath out completely. And then we'll inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, expand, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, contract, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at your own pace, just feel this with your breath. Just keep it even between the inhale and the exhale. Feel the expansion and the contraction, whatever that feels like to you. We'll go 2 more on this side. And after the completion of that one, step forward, both feet directly underneath you, arms by your side. Just feel that side. If you want to shake it out a little bit on the legs, you can. And we'll bring our left foot back. Okay, so find your stance on this side. How wide you want, so check it out. Bend into that front knee. Just notice, always coming into our foundation first. So no matter what kind of practice we're doing, our foundation is always the first thing that we want to find. All right, so whatever makes you feel stable, supported, grounded, and safe. Hands to your heart, and we'll do the same thing on this side. I'll just do 1 round with you at a 5 count, and then you come into the count that works for you. Let your breath out completely, and then we'll inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just on your own, your even count. Expand and contract, riding the wave of the breath. Go about 2 more rounds. And then we'll step our back foot forward. Release the hands. Shake it out if you need to, and just feel. Good. I'm just trying to turn to face you. Feet shoulder width apart again. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of a kind of a standing twist here. And so to start with, we take just a little bit of a squat. It doesn't have to be very deep. We're just slightly bending the knees. Nothing, we're not coming way down. Just a little bit. Okay. And we cross the arms in front. Take an inhale here. Exhale, press the opposite. I'm turning to my right. So my left palm presses up, right palm presses down as I rotate to the right. I inhale back to center. And then the opposite side, we exhale. Okay, we've done this one a few times now, so I think most of you are familiar with this. So we find our way back to center, take an inhale, exhale, we press. Now we're going to find that even count. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and let you come into that right away, whatever that is for you, 4, 5, or 6. Just take your time. When you've gone equally side to side, we'll find our way back to center. And Tadasana, exhale. Good. All right, so again, back to the front of your mat if you're not there. We're gonna go ahead and find our way into the floor. So just go ahead and inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And step your right foot all the way back, right knee to the floor for a low lunge. Now, if you would like to use your blocks here for your hands, feel free. All right, we're going to come into our just a neutral position to start with, and release the breath out. So let any air out of the lungs, and then we'll inhale into the lunge. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we exhale back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rock forward, inhale, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at your own rate, just even breath, whatever that is for you today. It's rocking back and forth, again, riding the wave of the breath, feeling the expansion as you come forward. The heart lifts and opens, and the contraction as we go back, folding over that front leg. On your next exhale, just find your way to a neutral position. Actually come up and bring your hands to your thigh. Right. And we're going to go ahead now and move in and out of a twist. And I'll start off with the first few rounds with a count, and then you can come into your own. All right, so let's bring the arms overhead. Just reaching overhead. Spine is tall. Core engaged, neutral position in the lower half of the body. So we're not trying to intentionally come into a deep lunge or anything like that. That's fairly neutral. All right, so let the breath out here, and then inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5. We unwind, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the twist, exhale, 3, 4, 5. Right, so on your own, just in and out 2 more times. We're not going to stay here really long. Keep your core gently engaged, support your back, spine is tall. We'll complete the movement on an inhale. Exhale, 5, 2, right, all the way, 5 counts or your 4 count, wherever you are, forward fold, then press back into down dog, let go of the breath, and just walk that out a little bit. Okay, shake it out, walk it out. And then either from hands and knees or from down dog, we're gonna bring our right foot forward, left knee comes down. Hands can be on the blocks or your mat. All right, so we find neutral. You now know what we're doing, so I'm gonna allow you to find this at your own pace. 4, 5, 6 count, whatever that is for you. We inhale forward, we feel that expansion as the heart opens, head lifts, and a contraction as we exhale and rock back. A nice even count, both directions, take your time. Notice what's different on this side. Notice what it's like for you to slow the practice down, especially on these movements that we are most familiar with, that we can check out and do them anyway. And the breath is asking you to be maybe more present than you normally are. May not be. And then we'll find our way to a neutral position and come up, bringing your hands to your right thigh. Okay, lower half of the body's in a neutral position, not a deep lunge. Right, we'll bring the arms overhead. Same thing here, and I'm going to ask you to find it right away on your own rhythm. You'll exhale into the twist to the right, and the inhale brings you back facing front, arms overhead. Next time you come face forward, your exhale releases your hands to the mat, press back into down dog, walk that out, shake it out. And then come to both knees, find your resting position, whether that's a child's pose or onto the belly if your knees don't allow this. And then you can rest your head in your hands if you'd like, or extend the arms, bringing your forehead to the floor. That's totally up to you. Come back into the belly breathing. You feel the belly compressed either into your mat or to the thighs, so that your back body takes over and expands. So inhale, feel the back body expand, and just relax on the exhale. And then just noticing the practice, how the body's responding, how the mind's responding, where you are emotionally, right? Just noticing if anything's shifted. It's okay if it hasn't. And then go ahead now and find your way onto your backs. Go ahead and roll over. Let's do a little bit, another twist. We'll do a little bit more with our hips. So let's begin with our figure 4, right ankle to left knee. Now some of you, this is your stretch. We're gonna hold here rather than move. Our first kind of hold today. You can press that knee away from you, flex that right foot, and just enjoy the stretch right here. Find your breath. So whether that's an inhale, 4, 5, or 6, that's what you're going to find. And then of course, those of you who have this available to you, you have the option to interlace that through the hole behind the left thigh, pick the left foot up off the floor, and find the stretch here. Okay, so it's up to you. Once you've found where you'd like to hold, now come into your breath. And here, I'm going to invite you to come back into the belly. Belly expands on inhale and contracts on exhale. 4, 5, or 6 count, that's up to you. About 2 more breaths here. On the exhale, you release the stretch, place both feet back on the floor. Maybe even take that right leg and extend it. Just going to stretch it out a little bit, shake it out a bit. And then we'll move to the other side. So left ankle on the right knee. Just check things out here. Notice if on this side, you prefer to just keep the right foot in the floor and push the knee away. Flex that left foot, helps protect the knee. Or if you'd like to interlace the hands behind. It's up to you. And once you've found your position, now find your breath. So find that equal inhale and exhale. And give the belly permission to move with the breath here. About 2 more breaths on this side. And at the completion of that second breath, release the pose. Maybe extend the left leg along the floor, shake it out. And then coming back, both feet in the floor. Let's go ahead and just draw the right knee into the chest. And extend the left leg. Flex that left foot. And we're going to move in and out of our twist side to side with this right knee, right? So release the breath out here. And then take an inhale. So we want the leg to be off to the side just a little bit so there's room for the belly to take the breath in. Exhale as you open the leg wide to the right and extend the left arm. Inhale, bring the knee back to center. Take it in your left hand. Extend the right. And exhale across into the twist. Keeping the right shoulder in the floor. Okay, so that's the form. We inhale back to center and then alternately exhale side to side. And I'd like you to find your count of breath here. So 4, 5, or 6. As you move in and out of these poses, each time the knee gets drawn back to center, it's an inhale. And each time the knee either opens wide or across the body into a twist, it's an exhale. Notice if you'd like to coordinate this movement with your head, rotating it in the opposite direction as the knees. The ultimate multitasking. We're counting, we're moving the head in the opposite direction, and we're correct position on the inhale and the exhale. Got a lot going on here. The next time you move out of the twist, find the knee back to center. Hold there for a moment. And then very slowly switch sides. Draw the left knee into the chest and extend the right leg along the floor. Flex that right foot. Pull that left knee in as close as it feels comfortable for you. Take the inhale here. And then your exhale, the right arm expands, knee opens wide to the left. We inhale back to center. And switch sides. Left arm extends, right knee across, or left knee across. Inhale to center. Exhale, open wide. Find your count. Inhale back to center. Exhale into the twist. If you'd like to engage with the head, begin to rotate it the opposite direction you're taking the knee. Moved equally side to side. Pause for a moment. Knee to chest. And then go ahead and extend that left leg along the floor, meeting the right. Both legs extended. Reach overhead. Reach, 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 reach. And then give yourself a great big hug. Draw the knees in. Wrap the arms around the knees. And if the neck feels safe, bring the head up off the floor. And then place the feet back into the floor, hip width apart, palms to your belly, and then come into our hip sliders or hikers. So slide or hike the hips up the mat towards the shoulder. And then shift into hip pointers. Pointing one hip up to the ceiling and then the other. And then take a moment to alternate between the two. And then take a moment to find your way into Shavasana. So notice any props you'd like to use today. Something rolled underneath the knees, on your head, socks, sweatshirt, blanket. Really allowing the body to be supported and to find complete comfort here. Okay. I'm going to be guiding you, so I'm coming to seated. Once you've settled into your Shavasana this morning, your position, observe the body breathe. Nothing more. Don't shape it yet. We're going to shape it again in a moment. Once you feel the body fully supported, let go into gravity. Completely relax. Arms a little ways from your side, palms up. Hearts open to receive this practice and whatever gifts it may have held for you today. Now begin to lengthen the breath and even it out one more time. Finding your count, 4, 5, or 6, just something that's comfortable and natural to you. And we're going to do a guided breathing exercise called 75 breaths. And for the first 50 breaths, and I'll be counting with you, so don't worry too much. We're going to be inhaling from the crown of the head down and then exhaling from that point back up to the crown of the head. And then we'll reverse it on the last 25. Right? And this will make sense as we go along. So for the next 10 rounds of breath, you're going to imagine the breath inhaling through the crown of the head and all the way to the soles of your feet. And then you're going to exhale from the soles of your feet back out through the crown of the head. Just 10 breaths on your own. Even, not too long. Don't overdo it. When you're done with 10 rounds of breath to the soles of the feet, the next 10 rounds will be to the knees, or to the ankles, excuse me. Inhale from the crown of the head to the ankles. Exhale from the ankles to the crown of the head. 10 rounds. completion of 10 rounds of breath here, we'll now take the breath to our knees. So you'll inhale 10 rounds of breath, 5 rounds of breath from the crown of the head to the knees, and exhale from the knees to the crown of the head, this time only 5 rounds. The next 5 rounds of breath you'll take to the base of the spine. Inhaling from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. Exhaling back from the base of the spine out to the crown of the head. 5 breaths. After 5 rounds there, you'll take the breath to the navel center. Crown of the head, inhale to the navel. Exhale, navel to the crown of the head, 5 rounds. The next 5 rounds of breath will be taken into the heart. Crown of the head, inhale to the heart. Exhale, heart to the crown of the head, 5 breaths. The breath is even and smooth. The next 5 breaths, inhale to the throat and exhale back through the crown of the head. Breath is even and smooth. Next 5 rounds of breath, you'll take it to the third eye, crown of the head to the third eye, exhale third eye out to the crown of the head. Even and smooth. When When you complete those 5 rounds of breath, you're going to let the length of the breath go. Don't worry about whether it's even. Allow the breath to become quiet. It might even go shallow, that's okay. And you're going to take 25 breaths in from the tip of the nose to the crown of the head and back to the tip of the nose. 25 breaths, just counting on your own. And when you complete that, let all of this go and just feel the practice. As you begin to move the body again, check in. We really flooded our bodies with oxygen today. And just as you start to move and come out of Shavasana, just feel, be in that experience and notice what came up for you. And then slowly roll to one side, just continuing to notice that as you find your way to a seated position and bring your palms together at your heart. Taking a moment to just sit in gratitude for this practice we shared together with one another. Making sure you acknowledge and honor this time you gave yourself. And as always, I thank you for allowing me to take the seat of teacher. Namaste.